I speak about fintech a lot on this channel, and as a result of that, I get a lot of questions which I truly do appreciate, so please keep them coming. But fintech is becoming more and more popular as technology evolves to catalyze digital transformation in the financial services sector. Fintechs are making our lives so much more comfortable when it comes to accessing financial services like payments, transfers, receiving and sending remittances, accessing credit, and a whole lot of others. Now, globally, you hear about the PayPals, the Apple Pays, the Ant Financials, and the Stripes. Even in Ghana, we've seen shining stars in the fintech space like ZPay, Insano, ExpressPay, or Kudigo. But these large fintechs were once just tiny startups, and in fact, a lot of them still are. A lot of entrepreneurs are branching out of the formal financial services space to set up fintech startups that add value to the lives of millions of people. And the space is attracting a lot of attention from investors. Now, according to the Global Fintech Market Size Status and Forecast Report, the global fintech market will hit $124 billion by 2025 at a compound annual growth rate of 24% on a year-on-year basis. Now, for this reason, there are substantial investment opportunities for fintech startups. But assuming you have that entrepreneurial drive to launch your own fintech startup, where do you begin? What are the steps to take? That's the question I answer in this video, so do stay tuned if you want to know more. Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. My name is Jeremy, and if you're new here and haven't yet subscribed, please consider doing so because on this channel I speak about agile transformation, digital strategy, and personal development. Starting first with explaining briefly what a fintech startup is for those who may not be familiar with the term. A fintech is basically a company that applies technology to fulfill the financial management needs of consumers. So a fintech is able to compete with traditional financial institutions like banks and microfinance houses because they offer more efficient solutions and a better customer experience to addressing the existing financial needs. Now, according to startup.info, globally, about 96% of buyers have at least one fintech app on their mobile phones, and a lot of businesses have created apps to help streamline their processes for the users. Now, the best fintech apps are those in digital payments, digital lending, digital banking, digital investments, and consumer finance because they help us to bank, pay, save, borrow, invest, spend, or make money. Therefore, this is the best time to get your fintech startup project underway. Now, here are 6 steps to follow to set up your fintech startup. Number 1, know the regulations. The financial services industry, which covers both banks and fintechs, is a highly regulated space. So it's very important to know what the regulations are in your territory. You may have to apply for an operating license in a special category that has minimum requirements such as your stated capital, or you need a vetted operating model. Now, there are many laws governing the industry such as anti-money laundering policies or AML policies, know your customer or KYC policies, general data protection regulations. You really need to devote the time to learning the laws and regulations that apply in your country because they do differ from country to country. So if you plan to expand your fintech startup to multiple territories, then you should be aware of the regulations in each target market. The last thing you want is to launch your fintech, it takes off, only to be shut down by the authorities because you're evading some regulation that you had no idea about, so know the regulation. Next is to identify your niche. The advantage that fintechs usually have over the larger incumbent institutions is that they usually pick a single service offering, specialize in that, build a business around delivering that exceptionally. To identify your niche, you need to ask yourself some questions such as, what subdomain in the fintech industry do you want to step into? Who are you targeting? Is it a specific demographic group? Is it a specific country or region? Who exactly are you targeting? Do you want to first launch the fintech locally and then globally? And what exactly is your specific expertise in this industry? Now, these questions should help you identify the specific fintech niche you want to specialize in. Now, some of the popular niches that you may consider are payments, credit, crowdfunding, investment management, blockchain-based solutions, insurtech, and a host of others. Next is to get to know your competitors. Now, the financial services industry is a very competitive landscape, so it's important for you to survey and identify your competition. You will be entering a market that has existing solutions, and in order for your product or service to stand out, it needs to be unique and also needs to address a specific gap in the subdomain or market. For example, even though the financial services sector is a broad niche market in itself, you can identify underserved or underbanked categories of customers and provide a solution for them. Alternatively, you may not even need to introduce something entirely new, but rather aim to improve the quality of what is there already. You can aim to make the existing faster, cheaper, easier, or more efficient. Because the fintech industry is so expansive and fast growing, there are a lot of market opportunities. With a relevant idea, you can create a personalized and convenient solution with your startup, which will make you relevant to your target audience and beat out the competition from incumbents and larger players. Next is to build a team. Most organizations will tell you that their biggest assets are their people. Startups are no different. Making sure you have the right team of people around you is going to determine how far you go on your journey. Be particularly selective of your starting team and carefully consider your modus operandi if you decide to partner with friends or family. You don't want existing relationships to get in the way of the mission. The fintech or financial technology has two parts, and they are the finance part and the technology part. Now, even though both parts are important, having a highly skilled or experienced technical team to create your app, platform, or fintech stack will help you differentiate yourself and make your product unique. You may also explore other options such as outsourcing the technical build and maintenance work to ensure that you are able to stay within budget, which is very key and important for most startups. Next is to plan and choose your funding options. Nowadays, there are many options for getting money for your fintech startup. There are options such as crowdsourcing, venture capital, angel investors, and bank loans. As mentioned earlier, there's a lot of attention and investment going into the fintech space, but you do need to have a minimum viable product or MVP that serves as a proof of concept. Now, this MVP is what you will present to the potential investors to provide them the comfort that they need to dole out the funds to enable you build your app or platform for your fintech startup. In fact, this is the way most of the most popular fintech giants started out, so it's natural that you should follow suit. Finally, the last step is to build, iterate, and improve. Now, unlike the previous steps, this is an ongoing process that stretches forward into the future. It involves launching your startup, starting its operation, improving its processes, and adopting new technologies, as well as embracing change from time to time. It's prudent for a fintech startup to adopt an agile culture that allows it to quickly pivot, experiment, and deliver at speed in order for it to keep up with the pace of change. So friends, those are 6 steps you can take to start your fintech startup and get involved in a rapidly growing industry with lots of opportunities. Now, as a bonus, here are 3 things to make sure you avoid when starting your fintech startup. 1, don't ever overlook the actual needs of the market. Make sure the problem you're solving is relevant. 2, don't get distracted by multiple ideas along the way and fall victim to over-pivoting and chasing the next best thing. Remain focused. 3, don't hire a mediocre team. Invest and work with the right kind of talent to propel and sustain the growth of your fintech. I hope you found this video valuable. If you did, remember to give it a thumbs up and drop a comment, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers, guys.